विश्वविधाता
तू जगदाता विश्वविधाता
तू जगदाता विश्वविधाता
तू जगदाता विश्वविधाता
तू ही सुबह तू ही शाम
हे राम हे राम
हे राम हे राम
हे राम हे राम
हे राम हे राम
हे राम हे राम ओम श्री राम कृष्ण भगवान की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय श्री अम्बे अम्बे मात की जय श्री सियावर रामचंद्र की जय।
राम नाम में स्तुति मन में राम नाम में स्तुति मन में राम नाम में स्तुति मन में क्षेम मुरविनी दिन में क्षेम मुरविनी दिन में பல சூதனைகள் யாவுமே நாதனே நிமிர்ந்திடில் நாடுமோ வாதனைகள் பல சூதனைகள் யாவுமே நாதனே நிமிர்ந்திடில் நாடுமோ பிரபு ராம நாமமே ஸ்துதி மனமே சேவமுறவே நீ தினமே சுனிதா ராம நாமமே ஸ்துதி மனமே ராமா ராமா
श्री रामचंद्र आश्रित पारिजात है, समस्त कल्याण गुणाभिराम, सीता मुखाम्बरूह चंचरिका, निरंतर मंगलनायका। जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम, जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम, जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम, जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम। हे दुख भंजन तुम्हें प्रणाम, दुख भंजन तुम्हें प्रणाम, जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम, जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम। भ्रात भ्रात को हे परमेश्वर, स्नेह तुम्हीं सिखलाते,
भ्रात को
हे परमेश्वर, स्नेह तुम्हीं सिखलाते।
नर नारी के प्रेम की ज्योति जग में तुम्हें जलाते,
हो नैया के केवलहारे, हो नैया के केवलहारे, जपूं मैं तुम्हारो नाम। जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम, जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम। हे दुख भंजन तुम्हें प्रणाम, हे दुख भंजन तुम्हें प्रणाम, जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम, जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम। तुम ही दया के सागर प्रभु जी, तुम ही पालनहारे। तुम ही दया के सागर प्रभु जी, तुम ही पालनहारे।
चैन तुम्हीं से पाए बेकल, मनवा सांझ सखारे।
जो भी तुम्हारे आस लगाए, जो भी तुलसी के तार। जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम, जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम। हे दुख भंजन तुम्हें प्रणाम, हे दुख भंजन तुम्हें प्रणाम। जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम, जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम, जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम। ओम श्री राम कृष्ण भगवान की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। श्री अम्बे अम्बे मात की जय। श्री सियावर रामचंद्र की जय।
ॐ ऐं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः। I offer my salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, who is the embodiment of all the gods and goddesses. Revered Pravrajika Ishtaprana Mataji and loving devotees of Sri Ram, Aum Namo Narayanaya. Sri Sarada Devi once said, "Dear, where else is God except very close to his devotees?" The all-compassionate Lord appears on earth in every age to protect humankind and guide us forward. On this auspicious day, we commence with the joyous 9-day celebration of Sri Ram Naumi, in commemoration of the birth of Sri Ram and his brothers. Perhaps the greatest lesson for us and humanity at large lies in the many virtuous qualities displayed by Sri Ram. Swami Vivekananda says that, if you really want to judge the character of a man, look not at his great performances. Watch a man do his most common actions. Those are indeed the things which will tell you the real character of a great man. Sri Ram is regarded as Maryada Purushottam, which simply means that he was an ideal man and the perfect human. Among some of his noble qualities, he was a dutiful child to his parents, an ideal husband, a good brother, and a noble king. Although Sri Ram was an incarnation of God, he never overstepped his human limitations, which serves to inspire us to lead God-centered and virtuous lives. We can learn many lessons by observing the behavior of Sri Ram, who is a perfect example for morality and an upholder of righteousness. The talk this evening on Sri Ram, the ideal son, will briefly touch on just two of Sri Ram's many noble virtues. Being dutiful and truthful are both admirable qualities which emerge from the following incident in the Ramayana. The episode continues when King Dashrath returns to Ayodhya with the 4 newly wedded princes and their brides. The city of Ayodhya was beautifully decorated with colorful flags and flowers. The sound of drums and trumpets welcomed the princes and their brides. The atmosphere was one of jubilation, with people waving their hands and singing in merriment. At the palace, Queens Kaushalya, Keikei, and Sumitra affectionately welcomed the newly wedded couples. Everyone marveled at the royal household of King Dashrath, as they all lived in peace and harmony, loving and caring for each other. King Dasharath loved all 4 of his sons. However, he had a special affection for Sri Ram, his eldest son, due to his unique royal qualities and adherence to righteousness. Sri Ram dutifully served his parents. The citizens were loyal to him, and the ministers praised him. As Sri Ram grew in character and virtue, everyone admired him for his compassion, gentleness, and wisdom. When King Dasharath made the announcement that Sri Ram would be his successor, the entire assembly rose and spoke in one voice. "O King, let there be no delay. Let Rama, who is young, strong, and righteous, be made regent and reign over us. Rama is good at heart and is virtuous. He is indeed truthful, and truth inspires his every act." Once the news spread that Sri Ram was to be the crown prince, the people were overjoyed, and the city of Ayodhya once again became festive. There was an air of excitement as families and children gathered in the streets in preparation for the coronation the next day. Whilst the preparations were underway, Sri Ram and Mother Sita spent the night in prayer and fasted in the sacred temple of Lord Narayana, while the royal musicians sweetly chanted sacred hymns. Queen Keikei was overjoyed to receive the news of Sri Ram's coronation from her maid Manthara, and said to her, "Ram is as dear to me as my son Bharat. Not only is Ram the eldest, but is also wise and just." However, Manthara managed to influence Queen Keikei to use the 2 boons that she received from King Dasharath. The first boon was to have her son Bharat crowned king, and the second was that Sri Ram be exiled to the forest for 14 years. When King Dasharath learnt of Queen Keikei's wish, he was devastated. The king pleaded with her and offered her his entire kingdom, wealth, and even his own life if that would make her happy. He could not bear even the thought of being separated from his beloved son Ram. A verse in the Ayodhya Kand states, "It has always been a rule in the house of the Raghus that one's promise should always be upheld, even at the cost of one's life." King Dasharath, who was known as a virtuous king, who was always kept to his word, had no alternative but to honor his promise and fulfill the boons requested by Queen Keikei, difficult as it may be. The morning of the coronation had dawned. When Sri Ram went to meet his father, he was startled to see him in distress. After learning that, as a result of the 2 boons that were honored by his father, Bharat will be made king, and that he would have to live in exile in the forest for 14 years, it was truly amazing that Sri Ram did not show any sign of displeasure. Maintaining his composure, Sri Ram spoke sweetly to Queen Keikei, saying, "Is that all, mother? I shall honor my father's words. Bharat is dear to me as life itself. I shall be glad for him to be the king. I shall willingly go to the forest, as this would give me many opportunities to meet holy sages and receive their blessings. That son alone is blessed who is devoted to the words of his parents." Sri Ram then respectfully bowed to his parents and left the room. This scene in the Ramayana is charged with extreme emotions ranging from the happiness and bliss in the palace to the sorrow of Sri Ram's banishment. Sri Krishna states that life is a mixture of favorable and unfavorable circumstances. Keeping the mind calm, regardless of external circumstances, is called equanimity of mind. Sri Ram clearly shows us how to maintain equanimity of mind in all situations. When Sri Ram learnt of the good news of his imminent coronation, he did not go out celebrating, but rather went to the temple of Lord Narayan and spent the night in prayer and fasting. When he learnt of his banishment the next day, he did not question his parents, but rather knew exactly what his duty was and fulfilled his father's promise. In modern times, one may easily argue that the promise that was made by his father had nothing to do with him. However, Sri Ram knew that his father's reputation was at stake and did not hesitate to go to exile, thereby maintaining his father's honor even at the cost of his own comfort. Sri Ram immediately saw the good opportunity of being in the company of holy sages and receiving their blessings while in exile. Sri Ram was a dutiful son and upheld this virtue through his righteous and selfless actions. During this auspicious celebration of Sri Ram Navami, we are reminded of Sri Ramakrishna's teaching that the goal of human life is to realize God. May we take this opportunity to intensify our spiritual practices and draw inspiration from the divine qualities and noble virtues of Sri Ram, such as love, selflessness, compassion, contentment, and truthfulness. We conclude with the words of Swami Vivekananda, who said, "Wherever truth, purity, and unselfishness are present, there is no power below or above the sun to crush the possessor thereof. Equipped with these, one individual is able to face the whole universe in opposition." May Sri Ram bless us so that we can always perform our duty with love and adhere to truth. Jai Shri Ram. Hari Om Tat Sat.
नान्यास्पृहा रघुपते हृदये अस्मदीये सत्यं वदामि च भवान् अखिलान्तरात्मा भक्तिं प्रयच्छ रघुपुङ्गव निर्भरा मे कामादिदोषरहितं कुरु मानसं च। ॐ श्री सीता लक्ष्मण भरत शत्रुघ्न हनुमत् समेत श्री रामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे नमः। सुनिबिरंचि मन हर्षतना पुलकित नयन बहरीरा स्तुति करत जोई करा सावधान मति धीर। श्री सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। जय जय सुरनायक जन सुखदायक प्रणत पाल भगवंता गोद्विज हितकारी जय असुरा वासी सब घट वासी व्यापक परमानंदा अभिगत बोधितं चरित पुनीतं माया रहित मुकुंदा जेहि लागी विरागी अति अनुरागी विगत मोह मुनि वृंदा निशिवासर ध्यावहि गुण गण गावहि जयति सच्चिदानंदा जेहि सृष्टि उपाई त्रिविध बनाई संग सहाय न दूजा सो करऊ अघारी चिंत हमारी जानिय भगति न पूजा जो भव भय भंजन मुनि मनरंजन गंजन विपति बरूथा मन वचन मानी छाड़ी सयानी शरण सकल सुर झूठा सारद श्रुति शेषा ऋषय अशेषा जा कहू को नहीं जाना जेहि दीन पुकारे वेद पुकारे द्रवौ सो श्री भगवाना भव बारिधि मंदर सब विधि सुंदर गुण मंदिर सुख पूजा मुनि सिद्ध सकल सुर परम भयातुर नमत नाथ पद कंजा
जानि समय सुर भूमि सुनि वचन समेत स्नेह गगन गिरा गंभीर भई हरनि शोक संदेह श्री सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम जनि डर पहु मुनि सिद्ध सुरेशा तुम ही लागी धरि हो नर बेसा अंसन सहित मनुज अवतारा ले बहु दिन कर वंश उदारा श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम कश्यप अदिति महातप कीन्हा तिन्ह कहूँ मैं पूरब बर दीन्हा ते दशरथ कौसल्या रूपा कौशलपुरी प्रगत नर भूपा श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम इनके गृह अवतर हो जाई रघुकुल तिलक सोचारी ओ भाई नारद बचन सत्य सब करी हो परम शक्ति समेत अवतरी हो श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम हरि हो सकल भूमि गर
गगन ब्रह्म बाली सुनिताना तुरत फिरे सुर हृदय जुड़ाना श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम तब ब्रह्मा धरनी समुझावा अभय भई भव सजिय आवा श्री राम जय राम 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 श्री राम जय राम
निज लोक ही विरंचिए
देव हरि हरि सिखाई बानर तनु धरि धरि मही हरि पद सेवहु जाए श्री श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय।
ॐ जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे भक्त जनों के संगत भक्त जनों के संगत क्षण में दूर करे ॐ जय जगदीश हरे जो ध्यावे फल पावे दुख विनशे मन का स्वामी दुख विनशे मन का सुख संपत्ति घर आवे सुख संपत्ति घर आवे कष्ट मिटे तन का ॐ जय जगदीश हरे मात पिता तुम मेरे शरण गहूँ किसकी स्वामी शरण गहूँ किसकी तुम बिना और न दूजा तुम बिना और न दूजा आस करो जिसकी ॐ जय जगदीश हरे तुम पूर्ण परमात्मा तुम अनंतरयामी स्वामी तुम अनंतरयामी पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर तुम सबके स्वामी ॐ जय जगदीश हरे तुम करुणा के सागर तुम पालन करता स्वामी तुम पालन करता मैं सेवक तुम स्वामी मैं सेवक तुम स्वामी कृपा करो भरता ॐ जय जगदीश हरे तुम हो एक अगोचर सबके प्राणपति स्वामी सबके प्राणपति इस विधि मिलो दया में इस विधि मिलो दया में तुमको मैं कुमति ॐ जय जगदीश हरे दीन बंधु दुख हरता तुम रक्षक मेरे स्वामी तुम रक्षक मेरे
कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवन् भवानी सहितं नमामि भवन् भवानी सहितं नमामि मङ्गलं भगवान् विष्णु मङ्गलं गरुडध्वज मङ्गलं पुण्डरीकाक्ष मङ्गलाय तनोहरि सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते नारायणी नमोस्तुते.
Om Namo Narayanaya, dear sisters and brothers. On this very auspicious day, let us reflect on the meaning of the verses chanted from the Ramayana. The gods and earth were terror-stricken by the atrocities of King Ravan. Hearing their loving entreaties, a solemn voice dispelled their doubt and anxiety. It said, "Fear not, O sages. For your sake I will be born as a man, with every element of my divinity incarnate. I shall incarnate as 4 brothers in the royal palace of King Dashrath and Queen Kaushalya. I shall relieve the earth of all its burden. Fear not." Let us feel the living presence of God in our hearts and pray to Him to please shower His grace upon us. We must know that we are not alone. God is always with us. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
ॐ सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. हरि ॐ तत्सत्.
जय श्री गुरु महाराज की जय, महामाई की जय, स्वामी जी महाराज की जय, गंगा मात की जय, महावीर स्वामी जी की जय, सर्व ऋषि मुनियों की जय. पार्वती पतये हर हर महा